Now, file handling, file processing. Write code to define record structure. Now, this is composite record structure. A structure as in what we did in this morning with the pre-release material. I made three structures. One for toy, the other one for computer game, the third one was for vehicle. So we will look into this. Write code to perform file processing operations, open or close file, read and write a record to the file, and then we have got these commands. Remember, there's a difference between serial sequential and um, random access files. In serial sequential, the basic file structure remains serial, chronological, as in a tape. Random file is a binary file which was meant not for the tape, the serial medium, but for the circular um, random medium, as in floppy disk or hard disk and all. Here, the disability of serial mechanism in which we cannot access one record directly is covered. Now you can reach any record directly with this seek command. Not just that, you don't have to open the file for input, for output, and for append separately. You just open a file for random and you perform all those operations together. One thing remains an issue, and that is that you have to strive for keeping the record size same for all of the records. What used to be done in serial file was that every record had a different length. That was variable length records. Why? Because of this string. See, all of the data types, integer, boolean, date, time, character, they all are having fixed data size. So if they are part of a record, they'll be keeping the same amount of data no matter what. But this string data type, it is flexible. As many as 255 characters that you can save. But if you are saving 5 or 10 or 20 character, it will shrink that down. It would not save 255 character. It will only save those as many as you have entered. And that is good for serial file because we have to be conservative for the file length. As in, we want to save more records on one serial medium. It's a tape. If you like to have more data, you have to have a longer tape. So in order to conserve on tape, we had to save variable length records. But in this file, which is random access file, we have to strive for this file size to keep it same. Means what? Let me first give you an abstract of it so that you could easily understand it. What I'm trying to tell here is let's say it's a tape. This is one record save, record gap, then another record save, record gap, then another record save, record gap. Okay, it's a tape. It's a serial medium. Okay. If this is record number 1, record number 2, record number 3, record number 4, record number 5, I cannot reach this record number 5 until I forward. I would have to forward. If I am here and I want to reach back to record number 2, I would have to rewind. And yet, I've got no idea at what particular position a required record is found. All I have this, when I'm reading a record, tape is progressing. If a record is read, it means that head has already crossed that area on the tape. That is why it is read. And head is already on the next record. So head is reading as much as saved in a record. If it is on second, it means if I like to read second, I when I read second, it would already be on third. That is why when you have read one record, it is already on the next. If it is end of file, as soon as you read last record, it would be on the end of file marker. So it tells you beforehand that when end of file has reached. So at many a times we were reading the file while not end of file with this clause, while not end of file. But we were simply unable to reach out to any particular record. But when the medium gets changed, when medium becomes circular, it gives you an edge. The edge is confinement of one way movement, one side movement, and limited area which is been through the head surface is gone. There is no more limitation. Now you have got a head which is moving back and forth, a head which is reading data, moving back and forth, and this disk is also moving. So any area over this disk, any area over this disk can be read at any given time. You don't have to rewind forward because that has already been taken care by the operating system. Okay? That has already been taken care by the operating system. Simple enough. Now, all you have to do is to use this command to seek the record. Go to that record. If you are at record 5, seek back record 1, you go there. So what is happening? This disk has a table which is called file allocation table, and it has got पता नहीं यार ये कैसे बनेंगे, बहरहाल होता क्या है कि ये एरियाज क्रिएट हो जाते हैं, इस पे फर्दर सर्कल्स बनते हैं. लेट मी ड्रॉ दीज सर्कल्स फॉर यू. ठीक है, और उसको फिर हम कट कर देते हैं. तो सर्कल्स एंड कट गिव अस दीज एरियाज. ठीक है, सेक्टर्स. Now files are stored over these sectors, and these sectors are having addresses. So it is saving it what sector holds what file, and it is a linked list. So a file may be at here, at this place, at this place, at this place. So it would have an idea that this file 1 starts from here, then it goes to this sector, then it goes to this sector, and that is how it is all ready for you, that you can read file in any order at any location. Okay? Now there is a compulsion. That compulsion is how system finds out. It is conventional system, it is an old system, it is an obsolete system. Do not compare this system with the modern systems. So take it as I am saying. Okay? So what happens, at every single Every single record is having the same length. So what's happening actually, let's say every single record is of 50 bytes. All right. It has got four fields, and 50 bytes. How many records are there? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 50 times 8, 400 bytes. So this 400 bytes is length of file. Okay, this is length of file. So this is 50 bytes, this is 100, this is 150, this is 200. This is the marker of the start of new record. 250, 300, 350 and 400. अगर आप इधर से लगाएं तो this would be first byte, this would be 51st, this would be first byte, 51st byte, 101, 151, 201, 251, 301 and 351. This is the start. So what is this? Start of record. And what is this? End of record. If I want to find the size of the file, I'll be using this function. If I want to find the size of the record, I would have to first decide, let's say it is ID, it is name, it is date of birth, it is fee paid thing. This is question mark. So ID is integer, 4 bytes decided, date of birth 8 byte decided, this is 1 byte decided, 4 and 8, 12 and 1, 13. So 50 minus 13, this name is of 37 bytes, and this is the problematic area. These are fixed. 1 byte for boolean, 8 bytes for date, 4 bytes for ID integer, it is fixed. This is problematic area. We have to make it fixed. By default, what system does? System actually saves as many bytes you enter to the string. So we have to strive to make it fixed. So let's say if I am like dim name as a string, or declare name as a string. So in pseudocode, I'll make it 37 fixed. How do I make it 37? By putting this star and 37 after the type. String star 37 means if you enter my name Zafar, rest 32 bytes will be saved as empty, but it will keep the size of the record equal. Over here, we have to use a declarative VB fixed sized thing. I'll tell you about it. Okay? In this declarative, we mention the size of the file that needs to be fixed. Oh, size of the field that needs to be fixed. But how many fields are these? So I told you that how to enforce system not to variate the size of a string and to keep it fixed so that we have a fixed length record. What is the advantage of it? If length of record is used and length of file is used and I divide it, what do you get? Number of records. First advantage. Do you get such facility in serial file? No. You only identify the end of serial file when you reach at the end of file, isn't it? Over here, by keeping it fixed, you get first advantage. Second, if you like to see to record number 3, how would you read to record number 3? This is the end of record number 3. Record number 3, sorry. This is the end of record number 2. Plus 1, there we go. Seek 3, done. I'm here. You get that? So reaching out to a record is easy. We know the length of record. If I want to seek out to record number 3, I'll multiply it by record number which is one less. If I want to reach to record 6, I'll be multiplying 5 by 5, 250 plus 1, I'm at record 6. Second advantage. Third advantage, you're opening file once. You're not opening file for input separate, output separate, और तीसरा क्या होता है? Append separate. Fourth advantage, you read a record and you can overwrite it right away. You read a record and you change it and overwrite it right away at the same location. All you have to do is to seek this record, read, memory se update kiya, write at the same location. Commands are changed. Write file is now put record, or read file is now get record. One last restriction. You need to understand that these are four fields. These are how many fields? 4 fields. Random file random files don't allow to save multiple fields in one record. What does that mean? If you want to save these 4 fields in one record, 1, 2, 3, 4, as we know of, it is not allowed. What do? We have to create record type or user defined type and use it as a single field, because random file only allows one field to get saved at one moment. You get that? Now what I would do, is I will make one record my record. name, declare. Declare ID as integer. Declare name as a string of fixed size 37. Declare date of birth as date. Declare is fee paid as boolean, and end record. Remember, this is not itself is a record. We have, this is a type. So we have to have one variable of this type. Now I would like to declare that variable. Declare record as my record. What is this my record? This is this type, data type. And then I will save this my record to the file. Now, how I will use this my record? I'll use my record like this. My record, sorry, record.id is equal to this. Record.name is equal to this. Record.dob is equal to this. Record.is fee paid is equal to this. And then all of these four things will be referred to with one word, which is what? Record. And I'll save this whole. So this is actually record. One. You need to understand this all. So we have to create one UDT. All data will go to that UDT. That UDT would be one record as one field, but inside it is having more fields, so we call it composite data type. What do we call it? Composite data type. It is composite, it is holding up data in it. But itself, the variable, when it will be referred to, will be just one. And that serves the purpose because this random access file requires you to have one field to save. That field would be composite, so it would have all data inside it. Is it understood?